Okay guys, just going to do a preview of the Wednesday night meeting in Launceston. Just before I start, I'll preface it just by saying last couple of days I've just spent a fair bit of time at hospital visiting people, just makes you sort of ponder a few things, and I've virtually come to the conclusion that I'm spending too much of my life on social media, so I'm just going to have a bit of a hiatus or sabbatical, for lack of a better word. So probably just 3 or 4 weeks. I'll be pretty quiet on the social media front, but I can continue doing these just for my own benefit and share them. So for the 3 or 4 out there who like them. So anyway, we'll get to it. So we've got Rail and the True, soft 5. Weather's meant to be mid-20s in Launceston with very slight rainfall forecast. So it's not going to deteriorate too much at all, even if the rain does come. So, so in the first, Duraza does look the one, but its last trial was actually, first trial back was super soft, and the second one was actually given a bit of a hit out to the line. So I reckon it's ready to rock and roll on the day, but just at the price, barrier 1, there's a fair bit of heat drawn outside as well. And you've got Heaven's Delight who resumes without a trial, and you just simply can't line it up. So whilst I've got Duraza clearly on top, just at the odds, I'm not that keen to jump in. If they do go mad, Newt's jumping back in trip, maybe hitting the line hard. Might be one to bit of value. Look at the speed map, obviously a fair bit of speed. GG's Cantel obviously goes from maiden to class 1, but Duraza draws 1, it draws 2, so it's also going to get a gun trip in transit. But keep coming back to Duraza, but backing it's another matter. The second, pretty similar to Duraza here. You've got a couple at the top of the weights in Gallowgate and GG Black Prince. First up at 2100. Whilst they both look like they'll run it, you don't want to take the likely prices. Akbar J is super honest in this grade. It's probably just a race just to look on, to be honest. I said there's a few of those on the card. The third, I backed Beautiful Boy first up and went super. Barrier 1 gets a good trip. Fontaine Harry was good on debut, but I do have concerns about the form from that race. The one I'm keen as mustard on, Street Tough. His trial was very good. Obviously, well documented. He's a half brother to Hell of a Street on debut. I actually don't mind the draw. He's got the speed to overcome it, and there's not too much early tempo drawn inside, so be able to ride him perfectly to the pattern. Plus if he has drawn out, if the outside is the place to be, he's drawn out there to begin with anyway. So just go have a look at the trial. And you see he's actually a little bit slow to begin on the inside here in the red and white, and musters through, so that's another half advantage drawing 10. But he just jog trots his last sort of 300 metres of the trial. See, look, the rest of them all under riding. It's pretty handy horses here too, and he's just swinging on it. Very happy to be on. As I said, I did actually back Beautiful Boy on debut, went super, but I'm pretty confident Street Tough would have won that maiden pretty easily. So very happy to be on. I think they're betting about $2.50 at the moment. Seems about right. So happy to be on. Having a couple of computer issues here at the moment. Just going very slowly. The fourth, Gold Phoenix was very good in what looks a pretty strong maiden in Hobart last time. Little Pumbaa was very good on debut, but it was in that same race that we pointed out in race 3 with Fontaine Harry that I've got the issues over the form. But if you just want to probably look at race 1, and Anastasia won that race, and if it runs well, it might shed a different light on those two performances. And Century A is just super honest. So it's first go on the actual turf, but did trial it at Longford. So, but Gold Phoenix does look the one, but I'm just not confident enough in the likely price to jump in. Race 5, this is a red hot race. You make a case for plenty of them. First to pick 4, I'm Wesley, been flying on the synthetic. Obviously the return to the turf surface, you can see we've got rear bar plates on as well, but really did like his trial at Longford the other day behind Chill Out. Wasn't asked to do much at all and was very strong late. Chill Out obviously was good in that trial. Tariki always goes well fresh, and trials have been good. And Happy Halloween sort of drawn the outside. You imagine it'll just be charging across early. So they're probably the 4, but very open race. And but forced to pick one, I'd go with I'm Wesley. The 6th does look pretty thin on for chances. Life on the Wire. She was tradesman-like, I suppose, when she resumed. Looked as if she was going to win pretty easily on the turn, and whether the heavy 8 just didn't let down or not, but still managed to win, and the form for the race has been pretty good as well. I think they ran the fastest of the 1200s all night, and I think Mr. Songwan was in one of the other ones, and so still plenty of merit in the win. A lot of weight for a 4-year-old mare, but it's well-deserved weight at that. CGM's just super honest. If we just look at her form, like she only won 3 of 30, but placed 14 occasions. Set placed 13 of 15 at the track. So, and the other one that's ticking over nicely is Charlemagne's Girl, much improved mare, and draws to get soft run, so might be the other main chance. So, the 7th. Pretty thin race this, probably clear top 2. Snippety Cat was a pretty heavy track last time, but just kept plugging away at the same speed. And Siobhan Star was out the back and charged home the last time. Extra 200 metres looks made to order, but it's going to be like a good things price, so I'm pretty similar scenario to a few other races. I do think Siobhan Star is the one I like, but just no value in the actual price. And in the last, Mr. America has been super both runs back. Argolite was very impressive last time, and it won. Did turn out that on speed was the place to be, but it was pretty dominant. Green Mountain Lass, another one going super well. They're probably the 3 there. You got Shutterfly, was impressive in the last time. There's a lot more depth here, so yeah, Mr. American probably not as, did back him last time, probably not as keen this time. It's probably going to be a similar price, but still not keen on anything to knock him off. So as you can probably tell, I'm not overly wrapped with the meeting, even though there are some very good horses going around. So just going to make the best. Race 3, number 7, Street Tough, would have just picked the eyes out of the meeting. I'm also pretty confident Beautiful Boy runs second as well, so if you sort of muck around with exotics in that way, if you're not a $2.50 punter. So anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up there. As I said, we've got some good races coming up. I just had a look at the noms for Hobart on Melbourne Cup Day, and look like being capacity fields there, so looks good for next week. But anyway, we'll wrap up the preview there. Hopefully Street Tough's been worth the wait, because we had a decent crack last time and he got scratched on race day, so we'll soon find out whether because I got better odds last time, so probably leads to him being a good thing this time. So but as I mentioned before, I'm just going to be a little bit sort of under the radar for the next few weeks. But anyway, we'll leave it at that, and we'll be back with you for the next meeting. But cheers, guys.